Hello, welcome to this new episode on our channel. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about NewStorm EA, a little bit about the strategy, how it works. So whenever you load it on your chart, to know what is waiting for you. And I'm going to go through the inputs, explaining a little bit each input, high level, and where you can find more information about those inputs in case you have any questions. So let us begin, and don't hesitate to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and hit the notification bell so you can receive any new notification from our site. As you can see, I have loaded NewStorm on my Bitcoin USD chart. By default, if you enable the panel, you're gonna see a small panel that appears here. It's gonna give you a simple information about the grids or the sells and buys that you have took. The EA by default handle all the trades and grids. If you want to trade with a simple one trade, it is possible. You're just gonna ask the grid to only trade one single trade with its take profit and its stop loss, and you're out of the grid if you're not a fan of grid. I'm not telling is that grid is good or not. It's a way to do trading, and I'm not advising if you should do it or not. Personally, I like to do grid as long as you know what is the risk behind. And for the risk part, I'm gonna republish a third episode where we're gonna talk in details about how to calculate the grid risk, because it's not a easy thing, or it's not a common thing to explain how a grid risk is calculated. So let's jump back to this chart and let me tell you a little bit about the information you can see. So as I said, you have the panel here, you have the basic information inside, the profits that you had, and when the EA will trade on the next news. Here my next news will be on 22 of May. Unfortunately, I cannot see it on my screen here because it's the maximum zoom out I can do. But usually you have a dotted line that mark when the EA will start trading, and this time is based on your broker time. And if I jump just to investing.com, showing you a little bit, we're gonna trade this news, which is at 8:30 local New York time. The EA automatically will handle the GMT conversion and where you are in New York when it is, and so on and so on. So don't bother yourself about this. So the EA knows that 8:30 New York time is my time 50:30. So Tickmil time or Tickmil server time 50:30. An important thing that you need to pay attention when you load the EA is the information that they're gonna provide. Usually all my EA are talkative, and they're gonna provide a lot of information in the expert tab. So for this EA, the first thing it's gonna tell me is which currency it's tracking. So it's USD, because I have chosen USD in the configuration. We're gonna go through this in a later stage. It's gonna inform me that they will buy Bitcoin when we have a negative news for USD. So USD is weakening, so normally Bitcoin is going up. And the other way around, when I have a good news for USD, basically I'm gonna sell Bitcoin because Bitcoin will be weakened. And when would be the next trading news that I will take? There is a specific scenario here that you need also to pay attention to. Here I'm trading Bitcoin USD, and I'm choosing USD as a currency to follow. In case you're trading, for example, US 100, it will be difficult for the UA to know what is the relation between the US 100 and USD as example. And this, you need to do it manually, and I'll go into the details also later on. But pay attention whenever you're loading the EA on non-usual or non-standard Forex or CFD symbols like EURUSD, GBPUSD, CAD GPY, and so on. Those are normal. They are 6 characters and contain really two currency, the base currency and the second currency. You need to make sure that you follow until the end so you understand how to configure the EA. And basically that's it on the EA initialization. Let's jump to the parameters. All right, in the parameters we have quite few. It's not a complex EA to manage. It's a simple, straightforward EA. In addition of this video that I'm explaining, you will have all the information on my website. If you go to the website to product NewStorm and you go to the user guides and signals, here you're gonna have all the information you need. Our recommendation for the configuration, the latest set files, the signals, and all the inputs explained. So all you need just to go here. If you have any questions or so on, you can go first here, check the information, and if you don't find what you need, just get in touch with me on Telegram, Discord. I will be more than happy to help you. Let's go back to the screen. So basically I have general settings, the comment, basically that appears even here in the logs or in the trade comment, the magic number. Each EA needs to have its own magic number so it can manage its own trades and not to have multiple EA managing different trades from different EAs. So pay attention to this. Managing all trades, what I mean in this, usually or sometimes it happens, you launch the EA, it starts to take trades, and for X season you close MetaTrader, you unload the EA or whatever, and you find yourself with trades that are running. You can simply ask the EA whenever it loads to go and manage again those old trades, and based on the configuration you have put, they're gonna take the old trades and they're gonna manage until it is closed. We have two modes to trigger the EA. We have the news mode, which is the normal, let's say, option you need to choose when you're running NewStorm. It's an EA to trade the news. However, there's another option, which is a grid test mode. It will just open trades randomly. It is good when you are doing this on the backtester in order to, let's say, test some configuration and so on. However, if you want to really trade the news, you need to go to news mode. Unfortunately, news mode is not backtestable. I'm working on a version where we'll have a kind of a database, so it gives you an idea of what you could get in a backtest. Unfortunately, and to be fully transparent with you, it will not give you 100% the same number of whatever you have done in the backtest and in a forward test, because news feed and trading the news, especially if you are doing scalping, it will be very hard to have the same result in backtest as in real mode. Backtest will not gather for the slippage, will not gather for the execution delays from the broker and so on. Even though in MetaTrader 4 we can, MetaTrader 5, sorry, we can set slippages, set execution as random and so on and so on. This will not, let's say, give you 100% correct figures, but it will give you a good idea. You have the panel, you can enable it or not. You have basically default logs that are printed, but if you need to have more logs, you can just enable this. The EA will tell you more details about the trades and so on. So that's the general settings. Trade settings, they are quite simple. If you want to buy, if you want to sell. If you are enabling a grid, how much trade per batch? Putting it to 1, meaning you are not doing grid. That's what I'm doing on my Bitcoin. I'm not really trading grid. I'm just trading with or counter the news with one trade, with one stop loss and one take profit. The size of the initial size of the trade that you're gonna take, virtual stop loss and virtual take profit in points. Those are really virtual and they are not sent to your server. I found this as stealth mode as better, let's say, strategy to trade whenever you are doing this on brokers, because sometimes we have manipulations, and using stealth mode, it is more not more secure, but you will not show your cards to the broker or whoever is executing your orders. You can protect yourself by using a max spread. So whenever the spread is, let's say, larger than the average or what a broker is promising you on a pair, so you don't trade. That's simple. You can activate trading stop. The cool thing about trading stop, it is a trading stop that takes into consideration the entire trades that you have open. So if you are using, let's say, a grid mode and you have 5 trades and you open those 5 trades, trading stop will take into consideration the 5 trades. It's gonna do a kind of averaging and it's gonna move the trade stop based on those 5 trades and close the basket in a way to respect this trade stop. So some of the trades will be a loss, some of the trades will be in profit, but overall you will get your profit of 100 points. So basically that's what is about trade settings. Let me jump to the news trigger. News trigger, basically the first thing is allow multiple batch, meaning if I have multiple news, and this is the case next week, if I go back to investing.com, I have one news at 8:30, then two news at 9:45, then one news at 10. And for X reason, let's say I started trading here and I didn't yet close my trade before this news. If I allow multiple batches, it means each time I have a news, I'm gonna trade. However, if I don't allow it, it means I will not open a new trade before closing the previous one. So it depends on your strategy and the risk you're taking, can allow or not. The currency you are tracking, so if you are tracking OAT, CAD, CHF, so the major currency are there. Usually tracking all currency does not enter a logic. However, I have put it here, so any news, any currency, you can adjust trade up or down. Frankly speaking, I would never use it, but it's there in case. One thing that is important, or what's its cool feature, is you can specify really the news. Let's say I'm trading USD and I want only to trade the news related to CPI and oil. Just putting CPI and oil, it means I'm going to investing.com, I'm gonna check the news. Okay, there's oil here, so okay, this news I'm gonna trade it. Or CPI, here I don't have CPI, here I don't have CPI, here I don't have CPI inside the text, here I don't have CPI, so I'm not trading any of those news. So if I want to trade PMI, I just go here, instead of CPI, I'm gonna set PMI. This means that I'm gonna trade the news related to the PMI here. It's really a subtext of the full text. So for example, you can, for this particular news, I have put PMI. If you put global, it will trade it. If you put manufacturing, it will trade it. If you could put manu, it will trade it. So it's just a sub string or subtext of the text that is here. You can enable the high news impact, the medium one, or the low one just by giving them colors. If you don't give colors, so color is done, meaning you have disabled them. And finally, the inverse trade settings. This is the one that I was talking about here, about the news when it is positive, negative, and the symbols if I'm gonna sell or I'm gonna buy. To give you a concrete example, for example, I'm trading DAX and I'm checking the euro currency. So when euro news are good for euro, I will sell DAX, and when euro news are bad for euro, I need to buy DAX. By default, the DAX symbol, it is DAX 40 or JERS 40 or JERS 30 or whatever, and doesn't contain euro. And the EA will not know what they should do. Should they sell? Should they buy? They don't know. So the idea, whenever you load this EA, let me do it on DAX just to show you an example. Pop. Let me take. It's a JER, it's the E40 up. All right. As soon as I load it on DAX, the EA told me that it's tracking USD, and he can't relate rated to the currency DE40. He doesn't know. So by default, the EA will sell on negative news of USD and buy on positive news. If this is the behavior that you need, perfect, you keep it as is. However, if you tell, oh no, in my case, I want to do the other way around. If I need to sell the E40 when I have positive news for USD. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna go back to settings, you're gonna go back to news, and you have the inverse trade here, and use that market as true. And in this case, the DAX will behave as you want. So here you can see we didn't relate, the A didn't relate however, he will buy on negative news and he's gonna sell on positive news. In the previous message, it was the inverse. So if I go back to this, so the A will sell, however now he gonna buy. All right, and that's one thing. Let's check what is remaining in my settings. Basically, we talked about the currencies. Let's take trading time is simple. Is whenever you want to trade. If you need to really time window your trading, you're just gonna head to yes and put the start hour and hour. This is good also if you want to just trade the grid, simple grid. Let's say test grid, and you want to trade just in New York session or in, let's say, Tokyo session or whatever. You can do this and limit your trading time. The grid essential section is more about how to manage your grid. Basically, if you are starting a grid, you need to manage it. You need maybe to multiply, so apply a factor to add, let's say, more to your lots. You have a max lot size to respect. So let's say you're multiplying by 2. Once you get to 5 as a lot size, you stop and you don't multiply anymore. The grid distance. What is the distance between 2 trades before opening the second trade, and so on. And you can adapt the EA to volatility. This volatility is calculated based on multiple things. It's hard to explain. I'm gonna put all this information about this volatility and tolerance in the user guide, so you can refer what information you could use and how to easily configure it. You can use a dynamic grid, meaning if you have opened 3, for example, trades in this case, we don't open anymore at a 1,000 point. However, we start opening at a 2 times 1,000 points, or 2,000 points, and we can adjust the lot factor. So, for example, instead of multiplying by 1.5, we're multiplying by 1.2. And the last thing is the most incredible feature about this EA. When using grid, usually you need to handle that drawdown, and you cannot keep just adding trades. So to talk about the risk and everything else, I assure you I'm gonna do a third episode just about the risk, just how to calculate risk and how to manage drawdown and so on. However, to tell you a little bit more about the smart drawdown reduction, the EA, what gonna do is a simple method. The simple method is I'm opening multiple trades. The last trade, whenever it is in profit and it can cover the loss of 1 or 2 or 3 of the trades that are open, I'll just close them all. The idea when doing this, you're gonna tell me, okay, what's the advantage? Maybe you are closing them without any profit. Yes, but you are freeing margin, so you can able to open in new trades. That's one. And 2, if you are dragging trades since long time, you don't want just to drag them, and if the market is not in your favor, you just need to close them and to get rid of that drawdown. So that's the idea of this smart drawdown reduction. It can help you to close all trades, free margins, so you can continue to do trading. The most risky thing about when you use an EA with grid is when you get out of margin, or you don't have no money to open new trade, and here you can just be in a situation that no one would like to be in. So that's the idea of smart drawdown reduction, is to help you not to be in this situation. And as I told you multiple times in this episode, there's a third episode that will come that we're gonna talk only about risk and how to manage risk with grids, and how I managed in the last 3 years in my real account, which you can find a signal also here. It's a public signal and you can go and check it. How I managed to go up of 280% profit on my account with regular, frankly speaking, withdrawal over time. Last withdrawal was 30 April 25, so a couple of weeks ago. And basically that's it for the NewStorm EA user guide and the strategy behind, and a little bit how it works and so on. Hope you have found the information you are searching for. Don't hesitate to go to the website, check the information that are there, and if you have any question, we are here to help. Just ping us and we're more than happy to provide support. Thanks a lot, and till the next episode, have safe trading.